example way too many times, but sorry. Of getting personal statement letters that are all about my upcoming wedding this summer, which is all nice and good, but that is not relevant to the application process. All right, so don't do that. Or any other similar example that might come to mind. And the more feedback you can get, the better. So you may, this application is yours, but if you are getting, you may get input from your parents or from a faculty advisor or from me or roommate, I think the more eyes that are on it, they might point out things that are maybe not grammatically quite right or a different way to phrase something. Okay, and then the application itself, references, you can have 3 references, and we already talked about a lot of that information already, but the DPD director, that's me, academic advisor, employer, RD from a dietetic setting is good, other professors are good too. And I'll tell you, not that I'm looking for more work for myself, I'm happy to write references, and when internship directors get applications and they don't have a reference from the DPD director, they sometimes get suspicious, so I would just as soon you go ahead and ask me for one. I'm happy to write a letter of reference, because they're saying, why is the program director not writing a letter? And they do wonder, so don't hesitate to ask. It's helpful to provide a resume to your references to make things a little bit easier for them, and be sure you give plenty of time too. You don't expect a week turnaround. You know how big your class is. There are a lot of letters, not just for internship programs, but for everything else everyone else is applying to, so they all tend to come at the same time, so do give us some time to do that. Computer matching. This is something else that people ask a lot of questions about, but you do need to participate in computer matching in order to match to an internship program through this whole process. And this is a separate procedure. D&D Digital is located in Ames, Iowa, and they do have an online system now, which is helpful. But you do rank all the programs you apply to in your order of preference, and all the programs you apply to are going to rank all the applicants they get in their order of preference. They all go to this computer system in Ames that matches you to one internship program. And the program applicants, it is according to applicant preference, so do really choose your order of preference there. And those deadlines correspond to the application deadline, so mid-February at the same time. And then there's some time after that when you can change your order around. You can't add any more programs, but if you're doing some program visits or changing your mind about things in between, you can change the order there. And then matching day is in April when you find out if you've matched somewhere, and if so, where. And there's also a place on there where you can release your name. It basically is, if I don't match anywhere, you can put my name on a list of unmatched applicants that internship directors can access afterwards. And do release your name to that list, because internship directors, if they have an open spot afterward, that they're going to look for students who've already applied to their program, that they're already familiar with their application, and are they on that list of unmatched people. Most of the time, that's where they're going to go first to look. Okay, and this is just an example from this spring what the timeline looked like as far as D&D. This is the deadline for D&D. Reordering internship ranking went through the end of March, and then early April, applicants were able to log into view match results, and then they need to contact the internship director and say yes, no, if they are going to accept the match or not. Okay, and there are a few sites for additional information, and I don't know if some of our students today might have some insight as to what they thought was most helpful. And for students who are unmatched afterwards, and like I said, nationally it's 50%. I say, why was I not matched? And a lot of times it's because there's so many highly qualified individuals out there that it may just be that other folks that applied to the same programs that you did were maybe had higher qualifications, or you think about competitiveness of a program versus Vanderbilt receiving 300 applications, applying someplace that maybe gets 50 or something. So focusing on programs that might receive less applicants, strengthen weaker areas to be more competitive for the next application round. Or sometimes it's the application itself. Your letter could have been stronger. References, maybe you chose individuals for references that were not the most fitting, for example. So